allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening and welcome to the June 10th, 2019 Florida Town Board meeting. We'll take a moment of silence for Carol Porter, who passed away during this past month. And Linda Berra. Thank you. Okay, we need a motion to approve the meeting agenda.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion needed? I vote aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Any abstentions? Okay, we need a motion to approve the minutes of the regular town board meeting on May 13th, 2019.
I'll make it.
And I'll second it.
Any discussion needed? I vote aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Any abstentions? Okay, next we need a motion to approve the minutes of the special board meeting that was held on June 3rd, 2019.
I'll make it.
Yes. Gretchen, 1 second. Any discussion needed? I vote aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Any abstentions?
Abstention, I wasn't there.
Okay, next is the monthly report for the supervisor for the month of May 2019. The receipts for the general fund were in the amount of $51,738.06. The disbursements for the general fund, $82,847.65. Total highway, $83,183.52. Checkbook balances at the end of May 31st of 2019. The general fund, $73,787.48. The highway fund, $24,832.88. The youth commission fund, $1,114.90. The Hadlock Dam project, $240.07. The Havelock Park District Fund, $3,744.75. The Consolidated Health District, $1,016.33. The Trust and Agency Fund, $997.50. The Medical Reimbursement Fund, $5,650.13. The Savings Account balances, the General Fund, $453,719.18. The Highway Fund, $902,787.29. The Havelock Park District, $213,858.20. The LoSAP, $18,446.94. We need a motion to authorize the payment of the bills.
I'll make that.
And I'll second it.
Any discussion? I vote aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Any abstentions? I gave each of the board members a copy of the first quarter actual of the budget. You had a chance to review it. Did anyone have any questions? Since it's none, we shall move on. Okay, is there anyone in the public that would like to comment about this evening's agenda? Since I see no hands, we will continue. Tonight we're going to have two presentations. The first one is going to be from Lori Bauer about the STAR exemption changes that the state has that are going to take effect this year. So Lori, if you would come forward, please.
Thanks, Lou.
Actually, I think Laura's going to be addressing them. We need a handout, please.
Thank
Okay, just wanted to talk to you guys tonight about, ladies and gentlemen, tonight about the STAR exemption program. In New York State, there's been some changes to that, and that's an ever-changing thing, and it started back in 1998, and it's been changing ever since. I've gone to quite a few of the senior citizens groups throughout Washington County. This last fall, I hit Fort Ann at the firehouse and have spoken at the annual picnic and different things, because a lot of this affected the senior citizens that are receiving the enhanced STAR, where they had to register and they had to get on the income verification program. So once you register and get on the income verification program, you don't need to renew your exemption every year. What happens there is some people that may be qualified for the senior citizens aged exemption, which is based on your income, may fall through the cracks. So we just want to make sure that people realize to look at their income every year and to make sure that they qualify for any exemptions they may have in the future. So that was last fall. Fast forward, March 1st came and went. All the changes were made. The people qualified, got on the income verification program. Come right around April 1st, when the governor does all of his wonderful things down there in Albany, one of his projects was to make some more changes to the STAR program. And the changes that he made to the STAR program was, if anyone's earning between $250,000 and $500,000, they no longer can receive the STAR exemption if they have a basic STAR. In other words, under 65, they no longer can receive that on their school tax bill. They'll be notified. If anybody did not complete an income tax form that was signed up for the IBP, they will be notified. So all these letters were coming out from Albany, and people were getting very confused on what was going on. What I've got here is just a simple little thing that I'm going to touch base on. What the governor is looking for is everybody to go from this STAR exemption, which is an exemption on your school tax bill, to the STAR credit, STAR check program. So you receive a check in the mail right on or about the 1st of September when your school bill comes. So they want everybody to get that check versus getting the exemption. And they want people to call and register for the check versus getting the exemption. But it leads to a lot of confusion. There's a lot of different things going on in the background. Will there be a 2% increase? Will there not be a 2% increase? Will I receive my check on time? Will I not receive my check on time? What happens to my escrow account? Nobody knows. You know, if you don't let your bank know, and if your bank is in California and they have no idea what the STAR check is, and all of a sudden you have an $800 difference on your school tax bill, and they're going to say, okay, you got to start ponying up all this money to make up the difference. You know, it's very confusing. We've had a lot of phone calls, all the towns, our office, regarding the different things that are going on. If we look at the front of the page, the traditional enhanced STAR exemption, the STAR savings were automatically deducted from your school tax bill if you had a STAR exemption, okay? And the savings are allowed to increase as much as 2% a year. That's not always the case, because the STAR has been capped in a lot of towns throughout Washington County, so you're really not even getting a 2% increase. So there's number one red flag. It's not necessarily 2%, okay? With the enhanced STAR exemption, now going forward, what they're saying is your STAR savings will automatically be deducted from your school tax bill as they were in the past, and you no longer get the increase. You're no longer going to get that 2% increase, which may not have really even been 2%, but they're saying now you're not getting 2% increase, okay? To stay into the exemption program. You don't need to do anything, but you can switch over to the STAR check program at any time. Once you switch over, if you look at the bottom in the red, to the STAR credit program, or check program, you receive your full tax bill without the exemption on there. So if it's an enhanced STAR, it's approximately, and say in the Fort Ann School District, because of course everybody's a little different, it's approximately additional $880 on your school tax bill when you thought you were doing a good thing and switching over that check that you're going to get in the mail. Now your tax bill just went up about $880. So the people are like, oh no, how do I make up that difference? The homeowner receives the check in September to help pay their school tax bill. And you are allowed up to 2% increase in the savings. If you do get 2%. Last year, it was $18 for the enhanced STAR. The increase from one to the other. It really wasn't even 2% savings increase, okay? What the owner has to do is they have to register to New York State, either on the telephone or they need to go on their computer to the tax and finance website, and they need to register by June 17th to be assured the check by September 1st. So they don't register by June 17th, and they may not get their check by September 1st. They may not get their check until September 20th, November 20th, October 20th. They really can't guarantee when they'll get that credit check, okay? And any owner should notify their escrow companies that there's gonna be a difference. They're gonna be missing out on $880. So they're gonna need to start saving a little bit more into their escrow accounts. Once on the STAR check program, you can't go back to the STAR exemption. So if somebody decides, yes, I wanna do this, I wanna get on that STAR check program, I wanna get the check in the mail from the government, you can't go back to the exemption what was taken off your tax bill, okay? Flip it over to the basic STAR, that's anybody under the age of 65. Currently, the homeowner must, or in the past, the homeowner must earn less than $500,000. The STAR savings were automatically taken off your school tax bill, and you were allowed to earn up to 2%. STAR savings, 40 and 40 in school last year was $399. The year before was $395, so that's a $5 difference. It's not 2%. Okay, so it really wasn't even a 2% increase from the prior year. So now with the new 2019, with the new STAR exemption, anyone with an income between $250,000 and $500,000 automatically get put on the STAR check program. You're no longer allowed to have the exemption. You'll receive a letter from the New York State Department of Tax and Finance saying you no longer get the STAR exemption, you're now getting a STAR check. So you have no choice, okay? For the normal people under 250,000, or I should say normal, for anybody earning under 250,000, you still receive your STAR savings. It's automatically deducted off your school tax bill. But there will be no increase. You will not receive that extra $5 or whatever that may be in savings, okay? To keep this program, the owner doesn't need to do anything, but you can switch to the STAR check program at any time you want. Down on the bottom, it just goes over this, the credit, or the basic credit check program, the STAR check program. Anybody that earns less than $500,000 can get it. You'll get your full tax bill, so you'll have that extra $400 on your tax bill that you didn't have your escrow set up for. You'll get a check in September to help pay your school tax bill, and you'll get that extra 2%, up to 2% savings, which is, we said, $5. To register with New York State, you can call the number or you can go online and register. It's a really simple process, actually. There's only, they ask you like 5 or 6 questions, okay? You should notify your escrow account, and once you're on the STAR check program, the same as the enhanced STAR, you can't switch back. So they made some changes. They're trying to get everybody to go to the STAR check program.
How were people to know that they have until June 17th?
We watched a webinar last Tuesday it was. Yeah, Grievance Day. We watched a webinar at the county building, and we had about 10 or 11 assessors come by, and that's when they went over the timeline as to, they said middle of June, first they said July 1st, and now they're saying June 7th, whatever they're saying.
Today's the 10th.
Yeah. Yeah.
The next Monday.
Yeah.
But how
Does the general public know? They don't know. Tax and finance? You know. So, there's been some changes. There will be some people that earn between $250,000, $500,000 that will be made to go to the check program. They'll get the check the 1st of September, and that'll, that's what'll happen. Anybody that purchased their house or their property, it's their primary residence since 2015, they are on the check program. Any new owners are on the check program. So they're already receiving it, but their escrow probably was calculated based on that savings and, not having that savings in there. So it's an ever-changing thing. I don't foresee any changes before they go out of session this year, because they pretty much made all the changes they were going to make to the stuff. But that's just some of the changes. And there's been some articles in the paper, and it's just brought out a lot of people. Lori and I are going to meet with the 40 and seniors. We're doing a pop-up, and so just to make sure everybody's on board. Because when the last article came out, even though I'd gone around and said this is all you need to do, then there was an article in the paper, and then everybody's like, well, you said this is all you need to do. I'm like, yeah, that's all you need to do. You really don't need to switch over to the credit check because it's, you know, just be safe and stay where you are right now until we make a change. But that's everybody's own, they can do whatever they want. Does anybody have any questions on it? And it's ever changing, so like I said, 2 weeks ago, we thought July 1st, everybody had, you know, we were telling from our office even, you know, you have until July 1st to register for the credit, for this check program, you'll be all set, you get your check the first of, and that just recently changed, so. Do you have anything else, Sarah? One of the other things I just wanted to talk about was data collector. We're hiring a data collector in the county, help with data collection in some towns in Washington County that we do assessment services for, and one more course is Fort Ann. There's a town in the middle of the county and a town in the southern end of the county that's also going to start our data collection program 1st of July. So I just wanted to let you know, I know that Lori has found out with working with some of the people in the town regarding assessments and things like that, she's gone out to some of the properties and the data that's on the assessment roll is not always 100% correct or in the computer file. We had a lady, a barn burned down a year and a half ago, you know, it just never got taken off. We've had porches, we've had decks built, they're just not put on. People are getting permits or not getting permits, and things are being done. And you know, I mean, your normal improvements of painting, updating your house, you know, those basic maintenance is not a reason to increase your value in your property. But if you put up a, you know, a 2-car garage or, you know, other things like that, mother-in-law apartment off the side of your house or something like that, that can add value to your property. So we're going to start going around throughout the town and doing some data collection on our properties.
All the properties?
Will eventually be all the properties. It's nothing that's going to be done in one day. Like I said, we have 3 different towns that we're doing. We may have more come October. October 1st is the reappointment date for some of the assessors, so we may have some more that are looking for data collection. They have one partnership with us.
I'm going to be going out as well in the next
Yeah.
couple weeks.
Yeah, and Lori's been going out. She's been meeting with some of the homeowners recently that purchased property, and they've got the May 1st when the decrease notices went out, and they're like, whoa, wait a second, why is this? And you know, to go out and look at their property and say, oh yeah, you're only 50% done. One house it was assessed at the full value, it was only 50% done. It really shouldn't have been that way. So it's just, you know, reconciling some of the records, making sure everything's up to date. 2012 was the last time really any inventory had been updated throughout the town, so it's been 7 years of, you know, just building permits and different things like that going on. Plus and minus.
Plus new photos you can take.
Yep, new photos.
Any questions?
Doesn't necessarily mean any assessments are going up or be lowered, it's just more of
This is just getting
a collection of all the
Just
data.
inventory.
Yep, just the inventory, just data collection.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody has any questions or comments?
Okay, now moving on to the reports. The supervisor's comment. Last month I mentioned that there was a grant issued by the Charles R. Wood Foundation for the library to put a cement floor in there. And the grant is in the amount of $4,955. And the Historical Society is in the process of getting the 3 quotes that we need to get for the project. And once we get the quotes, we'll figure out who is going to get the job to do the work on the cement in the basement. The Hogtown Road culvert is going to be, the project is going to actually begin pretty soon. They're going to close the road, Hogtown Road, on the 22nd of July. And shortly thereafter, they'll begin the taking down of the structure and putting a new structure in place. Just want to give a quick update on Farley Road. We continue to monitor the site. We're waiting for the engineer report to come from Albany. We expected it to come this week or next, and we were just notified that they have some emergencies that they've been dealing with, and it's going to be a little bit longer before the report will be released. As soon as it gets released, we'll take a peek at it and do what's necessary to address the situation at that time. Got a call from Lieutenant John Solon from the Rangers, and they want to look at the pilot non-parking situation because of the safety reasons. They've got the same type of problems that they had up on Shelving Rock. Paul isn't here this evening, but I spoke with Paul earlier this afternoon, and we'll be getting a meeting set up with people from Washington County, from the Sheriff's Office, and from DPW. Paul and I will go to the meeting, and we'll come back to the board, and we'll discuss with you the recommendations as to what's going on. This past winter, I got a call from a gentleman who lives at the end of Pilot Mountain Road, and he was complaining about the fact that emergency vehicles couldn't get through. And I advised him that he would need to call the sheriff's department. And it's unfortunate that this has happened, but it's even in the summer and in the winter, if you get onto the end there, it's pretty, the cars parked on both sides of the road. So we'll have to see where that all goes. But there'll be a meeting set up in the next couple of weeks, and we'll figure out where to go from there. The harvester. I spoke to Northern Trucking and Randy over there regarding when the harvester is going to be ready to be put in the water. They're still waiting for the parts to come in. They were supposedly going to be here late last week or today, and I didn't hear from Randy today, so I doubt very much that they got here today. He said once they get the parts, it should take 1 or 2 days to put bring the harvester back together, and then to put it in the water and hopefully have it operational at that time. What's happening in the meantime, regarding the fragmentation, because you're getting boat chop right now. I spoke to Hannah Barber today. She spent 4 hours out there and they collected a bunch of the fragments, but it will only get worse as time goes on as the weather, the sun heats up and the oil starts to grow. Rest assured that we're making certain that as soon as the parts get in here, we'll get this taken care of. Ag and markets rather, they notified us that the municipal shelter inspection report was done and everything was in order. There weren't any findings, which is always good to see. Ag and markets also at the same time, they looked at the dog control officer inspection report, and there were no findings on that either, and that's another one that's good to see. The Washington County Senior Picnic is going to take place on Friday, July 12th from 10 to 2. And it's going to be in Greenwich. And $5 is the suggested donation to the town of the picnic. Okay, next we will hear from the town board members. Ready?
Well, first off, I'd like to say my sister was right next door, and she had a problem this a couple weeks ago. She deadly afraid of frogs. Sounds weird, but come across a white grayish frog in her yard, and she called me and wanted to know, I've never seen anything like this before. What do I do? When she really all that upset by it, called DEC, but she was afraid DEC would laugh at her for being afraid of frogs, so she didn't. But being that it was on a bush right outside of Barb's window, she called Barb. And thank you very much, Barb. I don't know who you called, but the sheriff's department came over and said, it's quite right, they are very poisonous. And, if you see them again, take a picture and call us immediately, that they're not up in this area normally. And it's funny, I've seen them out in our yard in the past, but whatever. But just thank you, Barb, for taking the time, I don't know who you called. It was the right people to call, because they actually did something. And second, I would like to say, I did attend the June 3rd meeting on the Empire State Trail. I was sorry that Sam and Danny couldn't make it. I really wish we had postponed it until they could, because I think they should have heard a few things. I might have had a little more to say there. I mean, I think you and Gretchen already kind of worked on it, the trail thing, so your mind's already set on it. I wish there was someone there that I could have perhaps persuaded to think a different way. But I know that, I'm not sure of names, but that one gentleman stated that it is 15-mile-an-hour speed limit coming on the S-turn. On my way home, I stopped and took pictures. On the S-turn, maybe coming down there's a 15-mile-an-hour speed limit, but going up it's 40. So if you get hit by a car going 40 miles an hour, it doesn't matter that you were only doing 50 and coming down. And second, he also stated that he didn't think it was a difference in the insurance, because New York State requires, if you get hit on any road in 40N, if you sue 40N, it would be no different than if you were on the state bike trail. I don't believe that. Have we checked with our insurance company and asked them that once we sign a statement that we feel this trail in this location is safe, is our insurance gonna go up? No. Have we checked with them and asked them that?
Yeah, I spoke with them.
Oh, and they said it's not? Okay.
They wanna know when the trail is completed. They wanna know the distance, and then at that time, we will decide, whether any adjustment in premium may be.
So there may be an adjustment.
And there may not be too.
Right.
So, for example, when the roads are already taken into consideration.
Right.
It's the trail paths which are the smaller part of the project. So it'd be interesting to see if there's any change in premium.
Okay.
Over time, something like that.
Well, to me, to sign a 10-year contract and something that you don't know for sure, might change. The cost of it may go up, sounds incorrect to me. But also, I was, there was one more point,
Why don't you say, because we could, when we get to the resolution, we will pop back in, okay?
Okay.
Right, so,
The Office of the Aging has sent their newsletter, and Barb's been very good about putting it up on the bulletin board. I've got a copy here as well. It's got special events, family matters, scams, activities and educational events, pop-up events, adult support groups, and all kinds of information. If anybody hasn't seen it up here, I've got it here to look at. Tomorrow, their pop-up event is being held at the Georgie Museum. They're gonna meet at the Fort Ann Library, take a bus to the Georgie Museum in Shushan. The bus will leave at 11 o'clock. Your lunch will be $3, and I believe it's $7 to get into the museum, so it'll be $10 for the day or about that. They have great programs. If anybody wants to try going, you should. They usually ask that you call them the day before, but they always have extra food. So if anybody's interested in going tomorrow, I bet you could get in. I've talked to the lifeguards for the Pilot Knot Beach. We're gonna try to get the ropes in on Sunday. Although it's Father's Day, they agreed to go. We're gonna do it early. We're gonna try to, weather permitting, we'll try to get the beach open on weekends until the kids get out of school. I've been asked about the docks down at the canal, and the problem there is that the water has been so high canal court is way behind, so they're gonna get those docks in as soon as they can. That's all I can say about that. Other than that, I guess that's it.
Sam?
Yes, on May 9th and 10th, I attended the 19th Annual Town Finance School conducted in Saratoga. The instruction was provided by the New York State Comptroller's Office in conjunction with the Association of Towns of the State of New York. The following topics are covered over the 2 days. Using the openbooknewyork.com for data analysis. Tales from the Field was talking about town audits. Completing the annual update document, common errors and mistakes. Fraud, detention, and prevention. Sharp curves ahead, the importance of multi-year thinking and budget time. Fiscal responsibilities of the governing board. And you had a very informative question and answer session. On May 19th, we had our meeting on Battle Hill. At that point in time, we were presented with the Battle Hill Master Plan. And we have a copy that tonight after the meeting I'm going to lay out there. We put a little sticker on it, says properly accounted for in. Please do not remove from the building. The intent would be that people want to look at it, they can come and study it all they want, but they would keep it here so that other people can enjoy it as well, because they're very expensive to have made, so we didn't make enough to hand out all over. In conjunction with that, we are awaiting the application or contract, if you will, for the American Battlefield Program to purchase the Caput property, which fits into the overall Battle Hill Master Plan, and that will be done on a grant. It will be the American Battlefield Trust, and then we'll purchase it, and then it will transfer it to the town of Fort Anne, and wait for it. They said we'll wait for that contract. We also have a contract that will be coming out, or a grant, if you will be coming out in the July timeframe, which will help with the selection of the signs to mark the different trails. And if you get a chance to look at it, you'll see different examples that they have. There's several different examples of things, but it will help pay for the development of the signage, the production of the signage when we get to that point. And it talks about the 3 phases that it will be done in. They did an excellent job, and the committee worked very hard at that. I want to thank them for putting their time to work on this project for us, and we'll keep you abreast as other things develop. That concludes my report, Supervisor.
Denny?
I don't know if a lot of you people know, but the Post-Star has their annual best of every year. Fort Anne Motors was voted #1 for best auto repair in the area. I stopped by on behalf of the town board and congratulated the owner. He was elated. When you stop and think about the competition that he's up against in their breeding area, it's a pretty big deal. He was given the official banner that's now posted on the building itself, so that's quite a feat for a little tiny, Fort Anne Motors repair place. I guess the guy is really a crackerjack. I've talked to a few people and say he's really good. So that's, I think, a pretty big deal for little old Fort Anne, having him #1 out of all the auto repair places in the area. #2, Debbie, I missed the meeting because I was working. My annual Americade week. So I didn't blow it off, I just was working like I always do during Americade.
Right, I just meant, we have rescheduled it for a time.
Yeah,
Are you
yeah,
ready
I do too.
to-
Other than that, nothing else. Thank you.
The highway superintendent isn't here this evening. Enforcement officer isn't here this evening. Historian? You have anything to add?
I'm gonna say is that halfway brook or halfway brook creek that says on the sign, it went down last year sometime and it's been laying in the grass. I didn't know until just a couple of weeks ago. So I went and got it, and I got it in the house, it needs repairing, and then, so if you're looking for it, at my house. It's not gonna be put up very soon because I gotta clean the rust off and everything and then paint it, so that's what it is. That's all I got. Good for me.
dog officer isn't here, so now we can move on to the resolutions. Robert's resolution number 77.
Resolution approving the Empire State Trail work agreement between the Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation, New York State Department of Transportation, and Town of Fort Anne. Now therefore be it resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Fort Anne hereby approves the agreement with New York State Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation, and New York State Department of Transportation for the upkeep and maintenance of the Empire State Trail located within the boundaries of the Town of Fort Anne, and be it further resolved, the town hereby authorizes and directs the town supervisor to execute the Empire State Trail work agreement between the New York State Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation, New York State Department of Transportation, and the Town of Fort Anne, subject to final approval by the attorney for the town.
Okay, now we're gonna pause just for a second. And overlook you for your comments.
Yeah, that's okay.
You gave the check?
Yeah, and it's just the usual for May 1st to May 31st. I gave a check to the bookkeeper for $1,082.16.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
All right, any discussion? Debbie?
Yeah, also, at that meeting on the 3rd, the gentleman was speaking of, he rode his bike up Clay Hill Road, and he's like, he agrees it's a very tough road to ride, he would never do it again. He said he's not a professional, and he really thinks it would be the proper trail for professional riders, but he would hope that anybody else that comes across would come around and go back the other way, because he doesn't really feel it's safe for friends and family. I don't know how the public is supposed to find that information out. I mean, he's the one that's saying, let's put our stamp on that and say this is safe, when he won't ride it himself, and where would he bring his family?
You said you used the word safe? I don't recall him saying the word safe.
No, he just said he wouldn't be able to, he wouldn't take the trail.
My recollection is what he said, was that I believe that he thought the people who were professional bike riders would go south up the trail.
Not up that way,
Not up that way when they see the.
would turn around the back.
That was my recollection.
Yeah, basically, well, yeah. I don't think he used the word safe, but that is what he was telling us, is that
I know he didn't use the word safe.
it's, he would hope that people that were not professional riders would turn around and go south, go back the other way. And I just don't think us as a board should put our stamp of approval on something that the guy that's stating that this should be New York State Trail is really only accessible, to professional riders.
My recollection was that he had ridden down Route 4,
It's true.
went down
He did good for it.
and came back and would never do it again
You know, I asked
because it was so dangerous.
Gretchen, I asked you to get some, see if you could get any accident numbers from Route 4, that would be safer than Clay Hill Road. If I recall now, correct me if I'm wrong, the 12-month period of time that he produced records for Clay Hill Road in the 5 accidents. Did you have any success in getting any ones from Route 4?
Yes, I did, actually. There were over 50 from January 2018 to June yesterday,
So it's
19. So it was over,
And they're the same call period.
it's the same time period, same dates.
Can you maybe recall that when they talked about the speed here, for, people go 55 miles an hour?
And I've got 2 pages after I counted to 49,
Still there.
still more. That's on Route 4, from Fording into Comstock.
A couple of things that I need to bring to the board's attention regarding comments that were made during the meeting on June 3rd. Jim Boney from the DOT said that they would look at the possibility of putting more signs up to warn people. But you want people driving cars that there's going to be bicyclists on the road, and they've agreed to do that. And then there's another change that just came to our attention, and that is, if you remember, there's going to be they were going to try to make a parking lot up on the top of the hill there on Collier Road, and that's not going to come to fruition because in fact there was some problems with the person who owns the land. They don't want to go into the domain for the parking lot. Okay, but what they would do is allow for the people parking in the cul-de-sac there, using the cul-de-sac that they can park the cars on the side of the road. It's important that bring those two things to your attention. So we had a pretty interesting meeting here on the 3rd about the Empire State Trail. One of the things that was made very clearly is this is going to be the initial route. Originally, it was talked about having a bicycle path going down Route 4, and that was taken off the table very quickly. Then Clay Hill Road became the second option. Looked at going down on this side of the canal, that was another option. And after all of the options were taken into consideration, the engineers and the people who do this for business made the recommendation that we go with Clay Hill Road. And they did, they made it very clear that this is only the initial placement of the trail, and in the future it may change. There was discussion, as some people know, to have the trail go up there back to the campground up there on Clay Hill Road. And that was pretty interesting to say the least. However, there's a problem with that. I mean, you can't use state money to improve private property. And that's on private property, so there's some hope that there might be a grant that might be available sometime in the future, which they could use to possibly put a trail, move the trail over to that location. But there were several places that were looked at as far as where the trail would go. But the final decision was to bring it up on Green Hill Road. Sam, do you want to mention why you weren't at the meeting?
Yeah, I was out, I still do claims to present before the Veterans Administration on behalf of disabled veterans and their families, and I was out at the accreditation courses only given one time a year. That's when it happened to be given. I was out there from June 1st until June 7th in Cleveland, Ohio. So.
Any further discussion on this?
So we are gonna sign a 10-year contract, maintain the trail that they may turn around and move to someplace else, maybe whatever.
If they did do it, obviously then they amend the contract the way the state's doing. Any further discussion, Lee? Alrighty, why don't we do a roll call vote on this one?
I was thinking that. Do you want to do first, who makes the
Yeah,
motion?
yes, yeah. So who wants to make the motion for this?
I'll make it.
I'll second.
Councilman Fletcher,
Yes.
Councilwoman Stark,
Yes.
Councilman Hall,
Yes.
Councilwoman Witherell,
No,
and Supervisor Moore.
Yes. So the motion passes. Now we'll go to resolution number 82.
Resolution to modify the 2019 budget by transferring funds between appropriations due to the need to provide the town justice clerk's office with coverage during the period of unanticipated assets of the justice court clerk, $538 from the contractual line and $538 moving to the personal service.
Do we need a motion for this?
I'll move it.
you want to second it?
So Sam and Debbie. Any discussion? I vote aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Any abstentions?
Resolution 83 of 2019, approving intermunicipal agreement providing cooperative dog control services. Whereas the town of Fort Anne and the town of Kingsbury employ separate dog control officers, and whereas from time to time a dog control officer may be unavailable for various reasons, including but not limited to sickness, vacation, or conflict of interest, and whereas each party implements and enforces the applicable provisions of the Ag and Markets Law pertaining to dogs as well as applicable provisions under their respective town codes, and has an ongoing responsibility to provide dog control in their respective municipalities. Now therefore be it resolved, the town board of the town of Fort Anne hereby approves entering into an intermunicipal agreement for dog control services with the town of Kingsbury to provide reciprocal coverage when the dog control officer is unavailable.
Okay, we need a motion for this?
I'll make it.
Second.
Any discussion? I do want to bring a couple of things to your attention. When we had Todd Humson as the dog control officer for both Kingsbury and for the town of Fort Anne, we shared the cost of the van that Kingsbury owned. And that's no longer available because now Todd is the dog control officer there and the code enforcement officer there. So that van is out of the picture, and Haley Kirby, who is the dog control officer now, she's gonna use her own private vehicle. So insurance becomes an issue, and how the insurance works. Under our insurance policy, she's covered for liability insurance. So that if she has an accident and she's at fault, the insurance company would cover the claim. However, it does not cover for physical damage. And she would probably also want to make certain that if she were going to be sued, that she has the proper limits rather than the very basic limits for auto insurance. I spoke to her briefly today on the phone and explained to her about her vehicle would be covered under the non-owner auto coverage of the policy for liability only, and that she should contact her insurance company to find out what needs to be done to add business use to her policy. And I asked her to get in touch with me at that point in time, and we notify the board and we'll make a decision as to what we want to do going forward, and getting all the information first. So with that, any other further discussion, any questions at this point in time? I vote aye.
Aye.
Any nays, any abstentions? Okay, next is 84.
Resolution to hire summer recreation employees. Now therefore be it resolved that the Fort Anne Town Board authorizes and directs the hiring of the above employees to work for the 6-week Town of Fort Anne Summer Recreation Program on a part-time seasonal basis starting July 1st, 2019.
We need a motion for this?
I'll move it.
Second.
Any further discussion? I vote aye.
Aye.
Any nays, any abstentions? Number 85.
Resolution approving the memorandum of understanding of municipal governments bordering Lake George regarding aquatic invasive species prevention. Whereas in order to further prevent the spread of invasive species, the prevention policy for public launch sites shall include securing all public launch sites during hours without launch operators present. Whereas an updated memorandum of understanding has been drafted whereby the town affirms its commitment to prevent the spread of aquatic invasive species in Lake George, and specifically through major points of entry. And now therefore be it resolved, the town board of the town of Fort Anne hereby approves entering into the memorandum of understanding of municipal governments bordering Lake George regarding aquatic invasive species prevention.
We need a motion, please?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Now, the town of Fort Anne does not have a public launch site, boat launch site in Lake George. And the reason they're still asking us to sign them, understanding that they don't have all 9 towns, saying that they're in favor of those towns that do have public, launches, that they'll keep them locked at night. And it's to keep people from putting boats in and not having to go through the, boat washing, prior to getting boat in the water. And so we're trying to keep, any, problems from, any new problems to the lake being managed. Okay. All votes aye.
Aye.
Any nays, any abstentions? It's now time for public comments. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to be heard this evening? If so, please raise your hand. Mr. Bailey.
Hello. First of all, we'd like to talk about the buoy, the navigational buoys on Lake Hadlock. They're owned by the Hadlock Park District, and they're getting old, and there's 8 of them. And we would like just to suggest that in your next budget, you begin a replacement process, with, let's say, 2 a year, because they're physically beginning to fall apart. Second, without Joe Lazinski being the lake manager, when people bring up issues regarding harvester or weeds to be picked up, who do you want us to direct them to?
Why don't we have you call Laura, what's her name? Hannah, Miss Laura. Hannah.
Okay, do you want people to call her directly, or,
Yeah,
okay,
we could call you, we could call me, we could call Blake. We
okay,
have it taken care of.
okay.
We've had fragmentations in the lake 15 years that I've lived there.
Yes, but people are beginning to say, okay, I've
Bill.
picked up some, can I get them picked
No,
up?
we've been picking them up for 15 years.
I
Even in
know,
the last couple of years, I picked them up.
It's the people who in the past have called Jill to come pick up the piles that they picked up that are on their docks. That's what we need to feel out how to do that.
Hannah.
and,
Hannah is the person, because she's driving a pontoon boat, she's got the collectors, they pick that up.
okay, we just wanted to make sure that you wanted us to call him.
Okay. Anyone else would like to be heard this evening? Yeah?
I just want to say that, about 4 weeks ago, post office had a food drive, and boy, I just here to thank the people at Fort Ann for giving, because it was over 400 pounds of, food they collected from Fort Ann to the food pantry. I just want to thank the people that gave, I know other people give every month, but this is especially great.
Living out. The first one killed easy.
Anyone else? Is there anyone else? Mr. Black?
I'd like to submit this picture, okay, the city code enforcement officer down here. The garbage that's blowing out of this. They got put in the city, they got that to the south side.
Where is this?
See,
This,
there's that, okay, there's another one exactly like it, okay, right over on the, tree line for the National Grid substation. A lot of cardboard, small pieces of paper,
so it's,
I,
where about is it located?
on the corner of Woodland and South River. Along with the substation, it's just located there,
Okay,
okay?
thank you.
Possibly get something done about it. To me, it's an easy job to put up a fence, whether on garbage container, if they don't want to see the people do those done. So we come look on our property.
Very good.
Okay? Thank you.
You're welcome. Lindsay?
Lindsay Carpenter, 49. I would like to request first off that my comments and your response, the board's response or lack of response, be included in the minutes. I'm assuming that you all got the letter that I sent concerning the testing of the bikes before we were put on the track. And my question is, were you going to act on either one of those questions, or are we going to do nothing?
I don't know if you've had the opportunity to speak with your attorney today or not. Did you?
Speak or no?
Were you aware that the attorney's met today with the judge? As you know, there's still ongoing litigation. And because there's still ongoing litigation, we're not discussing this publicly at this point in time. You paid me a visit a couple of weeks ago and asked me if we had received the letter, and I told you we had.
Right.
And that we would be discussing that in executive session.
Oh, well, that part I didn't hear if you told me.
No, you said it to me. You said, you made the statement, you have to discuss that in executive session.
What?
You said to discuss it with the board.
Yes, yeah, I did say that. I said, I assume you have to discuss it with the board.
We haven't had that opportunity, we can do that this evening.
Okay.
All right?
If I may shed some positive light on Hadlock Lake, Dominic Bakawadu. Today we pulled 8 buckets, a little bit over, in the northern section of the lake. Our divers are, getting ready and pulling more and more weeds out of the lake there. We've only completed a day and a half, and that's going to be discussed in the executive session. But the suction harvester is out. We have our equipment. We've had it down there for a while, and the 8 buckets today is a great harvest. So keep rooting for our divers as they're in the water, pulling the milfoil out. We're going to do the best we can to make as much of an impact as we can, and we're soldiers underwater, so we're going to keep attacking it. But just want to catch positive light on Hadlock as we continue to develop, ways to fix the weed problem in the lake.
Okay, it's now 6:57 p.m. We need a motion to do it. Oh, I'm sorry.
I mean, I have something too, but go ahead, Greg.
I'm sorry.
My name is Eric Taylor. I live on 80 Thomas Road, and I'm here tonight to bring to everybody's attention that there's no posted speed limit on that road. So therefore, we've talked to the sheriff department and everything, and they've sent us here. People fly on that road. You can't drive 55 safe on that road. We have 2 school buses that come just to my house and turn around. One guy down the road, he's already had a pretty bad accident. And all the kids used to ride on the road in their bicycles.
Derek,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch the name.
Eric, E-R-I-C, Taylor, T-A-Y-L-O-R,
And what's the name of the road you're talking about?
Thomas Road. It's right across from the Ford dealership.
Yeah, I know what it is. What you need to do is you need to get a petition signed.
Got it.
You got it? Wonderful.
And we only hit half the road and every person signed it. Oh, no, you have it.
Now, how the process works, if you will take this petition, give it to the highway superintendent.
Yep.
Highway superintendent,
We talked to him as well.
give you a text, thank you, how this will work. This goes to the
Briefly.
county, goes to the county. County then, something over the DOT, it takes 6 months to diagnose before you.
Also, the state trooper said that it was gonna be
The
a
state
lengthy
trooper could not
process, but it's
believe that
better
it's still
to,
55.
yeah.
It,
When the Gould's trucks go by
Yeah,
with their
there's
trailers,
no-
they're going
when you
55.
guys,
There's not even painted lines
the
on the
highway
road.
department puts up a post at the end of the road every spring for a weight limit. You gotta check with Dickie Gould, Richard Gould on that.
Yeah,
Because he sends his mulch truck, his log trucks, everything. He don't care, and he said before, I'm Dickie Gould, I'll do what I want.
and the people used to walk their dogs, they used to ride their bikes with their kids, they don't anymore. They said that they need to figure out what's going
I
on.
don't think anybody here knows me, so obviously I'm not trying to be in the spotlight or causing problems, but
We'll take care of it.
So,
It's their responsibility.
something ought to be done for the safety everybody on that road.
Garrett, I haven't walked my dogs in that road in a while.
You live on that road?
No, I live over in Morgan's Lane.
Oh,
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, we hear dogs barking over there all the time.
No, there is some dogs.
Somebody has dogs.
But anyway, I used to run, obviously I don't now,
Yeah.
too hobbled, but, obviously it's, a lot of it is rural, that I know,
Yep,
you know. I don't know why the traffic has picked up so much on that road.
they have though.
Yeah, I
You
know.
don't sit out on my porch at night and that, 3 years ago we moved in there, you go sit out there in the evening.
The
It's
traffic
not any
is
traffic.
good. In the wintertime, we had somebody spin out right in front of our house and end
Yeah,
up
they
in
were
the
stuck out
field
in the
because they
field.
were.
So I went, you probably know Joe then.
Yeah,
I went and got Joe because I get blamed for everything on that road by Joe.
yeah.
I'm not like that.
But it, the
I don't care about
speed
that.
limit, since it's not posted, it's
So I went and got
automatically
him and said, I want you to know, it wasn't me.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's,
It's
our,
automatically 55. And the process, like supervisor said, I had to go through the process to get Morgan's Lane where I live. I had to go through the same process. And don't think that they're putting me off. Sometimes it is a lengthy process.
Yeah.
But I know Paul and in the town and the county, they're right on the ball.
so I'm under the understanding Morgan's Lane used to be 55.
No,
Oh my
unposted. Anything unposted is 55
That's
miles an hour.
crazy.
That's according to the law, so.
If you go on Thomas Road and sit and get it up to 55 and set your cruise,
You're not making it.
more people than not are probably gonna wreck before they get to the
Well,
other.
we got the message.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So do we have to do anything further or?
No,
Perfect, thank you.
It's 7:01. Need a motion to.
Plan on it.
I just had just a quick announcement.
Another one?
Real quick, Fordham Booster Club, I'm not a member, but I will be partaking. They have their chicken barbecue this Friday, so if anybody, I know it's up here at the firehouse, and they do put out a pretty good lunch / dinner. So enjoy it.
That's youth league, right?
Yeah, youth league. I said Booster Club, I'm sorry, youth league. Yes, Little League.
All right.
Yeah.
You got
7:01, go into executive session, need a motion.
For the 33 gallon, which quite a few plants of the mineral oil gets very slow.
yeah, I know, it's better to wait.
Well, it's
Purpose. Excuse me, hold on, the meeting's still going on, so please hang in there just for a second. There are gonna be two executive sessions this evening, two items that will be covered in the executive sessions. One of them will be for the medical, financial, credit, or employment history of a particular person, a corporation, or matters leading to the appointment, employment, promotion, discipline, suspension, dismissal, or removal of a particular person or corporation. And the second one will be to discuss ongoing litigation. And Dominic, we're going to invite you into executive session, but we're going to meet for a few minutes, and I'll come up and get you where.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you.